Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Options Mentor. Well, we had a pretty crazy end of the week, didn't we, with the dust up over with Israel and Iran. As we've seen over the weekend, they shot down every missile that came into their space or near their space. And so I don't know what they're going to do from here. Supposedly, Israel's evaluating it. The U.S. says, okay, don't do anything, Israel. You didn't get harmed or whatever. But I guess we'll see how that all plays out with the geopolitics. But it did make the market get even weaker, although we just have had hot inflation number after hot inflation number, including their with the producer price index and then the imports index. I mean, just CPI. So there's so much inflation data that it's just not coming down. That it looks very dim for the June rate cuts that the market was hoping for. So the market is trying to digest that. Now, on the week coming up here, we have a lot of Fed speakers. I suppose I wouldn't be surprised if they try to calm the market a little bit, but I don't know that they'll come off, and say, hey, we're going to cut rates or anything. I doubt that very much. So this week, I think we're going to have to see how it develops before we decide what non-directional trade we could do, butterflies or calendars or whatever. Right now, it's pretty high. You could still do calendars, but it's getting high. Some diagonal, some flies you could do. But I'm going to talk today about a spec play that I think looks pretty good here. If you think that the Fed will calm the markets down at all, and you know how this market has been, it does shake off bad news pretty well. Now there'll come a point when it doesn't, but I think it's worth a try for something here. So what I'm talking about here is I'm going to share my screen. The VIX. Now this worked very well the last time I put one of these on. I put on a bull call spread, and then the market went up. I cashed out, worked very well, got a 20% profit. I think it was pretty quickly. So now I'm going to look at a bear put spread. Look what we've done here. We have gone to the moon as far as the recent range goes, right? We haven't been this high since last, November, October area. So I'm looking just to do a contrarian play here and buy a put vertical in the VIX. Now, of course, tomorrow morning, who knows what could happen if we open up big and the VIX drops 2 or 3 points right off the bat, and this is probably not any good. But if we open down and the VIX goes even higher, I think this trade's going to look even better. Or if we're anywhere around here, what are we, 17 and change? I think this trade's viable from probably 16, just over 16 and up, if you put it on at that, on the VIX. So let's look how we would just do this mechanically. So we could go over here, and I usually like to give these time. So I'm going to go out here to maybe May 8th. It's 23 days. A lot of times I'd give these even more time, but the VIX tends to come down pretty quickly when it does. So I'm going to play this a little shorter term, just like 3 weeks out. And you can do this different ways with verticals, different widths. Always remember the wider the width, the more it's going to cost you, but the more money you make and the more room you have before your gains are capped. Of course, it does cost you more. But right here, let's just say we bought, I usually like to come pretty close to where we are. I'd probably buy the 16 or the 15 if we're at 17. So let's look at the 16. And if we bought a vertical there, and this is a bear vertical, so we're going to be purchasing it. And you can do different widths, 5 points, 2 points. Let's just look at 3 points. So if I bought the 16 put, sold the 13 put, this is an error. It would actually, you'd actually pay something for this. So we're getting a little bit of chart errors here, but I think you get the idea. Oh goodness. Yeah. The chart is not showing this properly. Let's see if it works at another strike. I hate it when this happens, but sometimes it does happen. We could even try a different expiration. And we're still getting very, very problematic charts here. That's the problem with doing things on the weekends. Once in a while, you do end up where you have a chart that's really not being realistic. Oh, there we go, 16, 13. Maybe this would look right. Looks like it might. So if you buy the 16 and sell the 13, and believe me, when the market's open, this should look better and you could do different ones than this. I just want to show you what this would look like. But what would happen is you'd pay $1.03. And then if this thing goes down to 14 real quick, just take your money and run. That's what I did on the upside. You don't wait for the full gain or anything. When you get on the upside, you get that 1.5, 2-point up move or more, take your money and get out because it can actually reverse pretty easy. Same thing here. So if you get your gain here, just take it. So if you bought, for instance, this 1613 for May 22nd, and we do drop down under 15, you're going to have some money on the table there, grab it. And it could be a pretty decent return. Like I said, I got 20% in the one I had on, and I think I had it on a week. And then we had like a 1.5, 2-point up day, and out I went, 20%. Now, remember, this is a speculation play. So you should never put, if you do this live at all, if you don't understand, you shouldn't be doing it if it's not appropriate for you. Just do it on paper, no money at risk. But if you ever wanted to risk real money, don't ever risk any more money than you're willing to lose 100% of, because you could put this on tomorrow morning and then the market could crash over the next few days and the VIX is going to go sky high and this will be worthless. I want you to understand that. You could lose every bit of the money you put into this if it goes the other way. So be very careful. If you ever want to do this live, do it small. Don't risk a lot. This is like a way to pick up a few bucks. Don't look at this as a way to hit a home run. This should still be hitting a single, which is fine to do, particularly with people on base, but it's not a home run. So be careful with that. But I think some sort of VIX bear vertical like this would probably look good, I would think, tomorrow. I don't know how long this would last as far as us staying up. So, I mean, if you had the opportunity in the morning for something like this and you wanted to do it, or even tomorrow afternoon, I'd probably go for it if the VIX is still elevated here above 16. I think it looks like a decent trade. And as I said, I think you'll still be able maybe sometime this week to do calendars and flies. But I just wanted to talk about this because I don't know for sure what we're going to come into tomorrow. You know, Israel could retaliate and we could have a huge down gap opening, in which case this trade would look even better to put on during that frenzy of a down move. Because these puts will be even cheaper, right? If the VIX is going higher. So, and then later in the week, maybe we can do something, but we'll have to see how it all plays out. But I wanted to leave you with some food for thought and things to think about this week. There's a lot of Fed speakers, so keep that in mind. As always, please like and subscribe to all the videos and check me out over to arimer.com. I'm there every day. All the links are there in the description of this video. You can find out how to get one-on-one mentoring with me. You just email me. The email address is there. For all my other services, my opening bell, traders launch, traders help desk, all these things at a very affordable rate over at Arimer. You can sign up over there today. And also I have a trade alert service where I put out one trade a week. It's usually calendars, diagonals, flies. And then I show you, hey, here's what I'm doing. I'll let you just follow me for your education. That trade service has gone gangbusters in the last 6 weeks. It's only been in existence like 6 or 7 weeks. And since then, it's had one loser and everything else was a gain. 8 winners, 1 loser, or 7 winners, 1 loser. I can't remember. I think it's 8 winners, 1 loser. But you can check those numbers out over at arimer.com and see it. It's working very well. And it's $100 a month. And you just trade along. I show you what size I'm using, all that, or follow it on paper, trading along. And it can be a very great education for you. So you want to check that out. I think that's a pretty good winning record. And I keep adding people to that all the time because it's been working. Now, remember, of course, there's always going to be losses. In fact, when I did this, my very first one was a loss. But after that, we've done well. But overall, I'm pretty confident that we can show you some education over there to show you how to have some winning trades. So check that out, please. And I'll be back with you next week. Maybe we'll have a little friendlier market for non-directional plays. We'll see what happens. But everybody have a great end of your weekend. Have a great trading week. And I will talk with you then next week. Bye-bye.